Hi guys, I'm ExactChaos and welcome back to another episode of Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. This is the rise of Cornoe, and we've kind of sorted out. Well, we haven't sorted it out, but we've kind of got things a little bit under control at the moment, and we're currently expanding quite rapidly to be able to accommodate a lot of different things. Now, one of the things that we do need to do, I did in between episodes go and send a ton of vehicles in here and replace them, and that's why you would see probably had a dip of 3 million rubles because I bought a bunch of new vehicles to replace the vehicles that's coming over this way. So it's just the oldest of the old ones that I've done, but it points to the fact that we do need to very urgently get something sorted out here. So one of the things that I want to do is I want to ASAP get rid of. These guys are all kind of on a schedule or something, right? The incineration, that doesn't, that's definitely wrong. Anyway, I want to move them somewhere, which I don't quite know where yet. There's too many of them, I think, 5, 6 of them. Do we have a depot somewhere? Just wondering. I want to move them somewhere so we can come back. I can move them to this demolitions office. That is a good idea. There's 5 spots over there. So let me grab, let me just quickly grab all of these. There's a broken vehicle somewhere. Might be on the way to the scrapping facility because the oldest of the old, like the ones in the 39-year category, I think I've gone, all the 39 and 38-year-old vehicles have been sent to scrapping, so it might be them. Okay, so let's move all of these guys over here, so we can kind of go ahead and demolish some of those things that we've got on that side, because that's the plan. We want to be demolishing some of those things so we can make room. We're not using it. We're not going to use it unless we build a completely new facility. And now I've got 1 left. Is there a spot I can just kind of squeeze it into? Nowhere? Don't I? I thought I had some. Oh, over here. Let's just pop it in there so that everybody just goes ahead and waits. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to demolish a bunch of stuff. I'll leave this here, but I'll demolish that. Maybe we'll use some of this in the future. So let's start by demolishing all the way up to there. We will also go ahead and demolish this guy. Ready to demolish this. What? Okay, fine. I'll just do that. We'll go ahead and demolish this one. And that one will leave there for a little bit longer while we demolish all of these things. So let me also go ahead and demolish this guy and that guy. Okay. With all of that in place, now I can quickly get this guy over here. And I will assign some demolition tasks to it. Assign new demolition task. There, and there, and there. And let's me go ahead and unassign this one for the time being until we get these other items moved. Okay. So let's get the demolition underway here so that we can use this area. This is an incineration plant which we're never going to build here. So what we'll do is we'll try and use this area and see if we can build a vehicle manufacturing facility. So if we go ahead and have a look, the other thing I want to start looking at in this episode, I'm going to get moving on this one. So let's continue the construction here. And what we'll do is we'll assign the lesser construction officers to come and build that one. At the same time, I may want to look into a bit of a road connection. So let's quickly do that. Bit of a road connection. So we'll make a little bit of a start there. Yeah, let's just so just a little bit more natural look there. And then I think we'll tie it in over here. So we'll hug that. I think that's okay. And then at the same time, we will kind of come down right like this. I like the idea of coming out like that. Then we'll do something like this, and we'll tie in those two items as well. So let's just grab our one-way pieces here. So it's basically this one and I guess that one that we're putting in here, right? There we go. So that's at least giving us a little bit of an interchange item in this area. So let's go ahead and assign that for construction. We can immediately see about assigning some guys to come and do this work for us, so that we can start making a move here. Now we've got a bit of a traffic jam somewhere, so let's just see, is something, yeah, something's broken down. So let's quickly pick up these road vehicles. So the temporary workers buses, right? If I have a look at this, let's grab both of these vehicles. And I want to assign 2 new buses to it. So one of them is over here and the other one is over there. So they're both, well, they shouldn't, well, anyway, the buses break down pretty aggressively. So let's just quickly bring these 2 and we'll assign 2 new buses to the temporary workers line, okay? Not sure exactly what that does, but it's obviously messing up our mojo at the moment. So let's, oh, look at that. Lots of vehicles ready to go. Now, let's send this guy over here and that guy over there. So now we've moved both of them out of the way. So we'll need to buy a couple of buses just over here. Give me a couple of buses. We would like the speediest of buses, please. These were pretty small buses, so I guess we could do... I'm kind of tempted to do a little bit larger. Let's just grab these 2. Okay, close that out. What we'll see is, let's assign, what does this button do? New stop? No. Set line to vehicle. That vehicle and that vehicle, please. And what we'll do is we'll make a start on those 2. So they should now be able to go ahead and do their thing, and we should try and get them out of the way, hopefully fairly quickly. Okay, excellent. So that's the first stop. We've added some road connections over here, which will allow us better access to some of these areas and onto here. Another traffic jam. I guess it's the same thing, is it? Caused by, yeah, that bus over there. So I guess once we clear out the things here, we should be okay. Everybody should be moving. There's still plenty of vehicles that can break down quite regularly at the moment. Hopefully it's we've got this kind of okay now. Yeah, okay, I think we should clear this out. Yeah, this is gone. So we should, I think this should be fine. This should be moving, no problems. Now, the next thing I wanted to do is start having a look at what we're going to do with this area over here. Now, we'll need to provide, well, we've got the rail coming in. Let's quickly have a look. So if we go and open up this guy, right, and have a look at iron resources. So there's plenty of iron resources over here, really. So we should be able to do at least two good mines in this area. So let's close that down. Have a bit of a look at what those mines would look like. Iron ore mines. So, yeah. Ooh, can we get... Let's see. So we've got a pretty good... ooh, look at this. The challenge, though, is getting a reasonable position where they don't overlap too much ultimately. And obviously we want to make sure we're making use of this. So we won't necessarily go any deeper than that. But I guess somewhere over here, 60% is a good idea. And then we can get another 50% on this side. Or we could see about 75% right in the middle. So I guess 50% is better than 175%. So I guess that's what we're going to go for. And I guess we'll get up to 60, actually, 65 even over here. So we want to send that guy out into that general direction. So if we go up to about there, so they put 1 on that side, and then we'll see about, can we get anything better than 50? Ooh. We can get almost another 57, 58 over here. Now, we do need to bear in mind that that's a little challenging. Maybe if we move it down a little bit, I think a few percentage points is not going to make too much of a difference. What we may want to do is just flip that other one around just a tad. So 55 over there. There's another broken vehicle. Let's do, say, this one over here. We'll go back and we might move it a little bit closer. So let's just get rid of that one. We're just going to move it. A building has collapsed. Okay, we need to go and have a look. Inadequate maintenance? Where is this? Let's have a look. We need to have a look at this. This is a... What? This is an electric substation, which is going to cause us some problems. Why do we have inadequate maintenance here? Anyway, we need to assign a demolitions office to come and do something. This one is closer, but I guess let's just assign this one because it's got nothing to do. And I did give it new vehicles. So let's get that one moving onto it ASAP. And what will this be? What does this do? Sign. Okay, we've done that. Okay. That's unfortunate. What is without power at the moment? A lot of this stuff is without power. This one is without power supply. So we're not filling this one up on this side, right? So these are not moving. These are not moving. So this is a bit of a challenge. Okay, we'll need to do that ASAP. It's interesting that this has happened because I thought we do have... No, we don't have construction offices nearby. Well, this is still a little bit of an awkward one, the fact that this one did collapse. So what is our wear and tear looking like in this area in general? So let's quickly have a look. If we look at overlays, building properties, what am I looking at? Reconstruction, wear and tear. Give me a good view. Ooh, but quite a few things here that's struggling a little bit with wear and tear. And, okay. So basically, we need a construction, and over here as well. So what is it that we would need? And over here, a few of them, actually. These smaller buildings. Do they... you know what? I think they don't have access. This is the thing, right? They don't have access. So let's quickly go through here. No access. We've learned this lesson before, right? We've learned this lesson before. Let's go back. Show me the wear and tear. So that's the wear and tear there. Can I stick the overlay? No, I can't. So let's just get... I want it... Oops. Okay, we'll get that going. Hopefully that will sort out the things. 50 is okay. The ones in the red numbers is the problem. And I guess that's where this problem came from, right? And that's why even demolition officers will struggle. This one should be accessible via these items, right? So if I want to click on this, right, can I say, please come and maintain it? We can. Start reconstruction, please, as soon as possible. Come and do this before this thing collapses, please. Now, these guys should have access to stuff like this, right? They've got road access. So this has got road access. So let's just make sure we're getting this moving, right? Why is the reconstruction not happening automatically over here? Now, that one's okay. These ones, I don't know if this will actually happen. So I'll pay for these two because this won't happen without a helicopter, and I'm not sure that's going to happen. So let's just pay the small amounts to get those happening. We don't want those to. Same with this thing actually. This thing is not accessible. So, wow, that's pricey. I need to bear this in mind. These facilities are not great because we can't properly access them. This is by no means ideal. Okay, so that should see all of this stuff kind of happening. Now, this side, did we start the reconstruction? We did. Did we start the reconstruction here? Yes, we did. Let's start the reconstruction of this one, please. Okay, so that should at least cover these very critical items over here. Got a guy over here that has access, so that one should probably be sorted. We've got some stuff over here that's a little, they don't have access. It's good. We have a bit of a look. You see, this is the problem, right? I used some of these dirt paths to kind of build them initially, and then once I've done building them, and then I come back and I build these nice paths for people to walk on. And ultimately, that does become a bit of a challenge because then we end up with this problem that we have over here. So we'll pick up on those. They should be reconstructed. Do we have another one over here missing? Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Good to have a bit of a look at these things. And I'm not sure how many of these problems I have and how often we're going to run into this problem. But yeah, I've done this a lot of times and I've learned the lesson before, but not kind of not, it didn't hurt enough, it seems, for me to retain that knowledge. That one we just did. These we did do. Anything over here that's going to be a little bit problematic? We've just tied this one in. The rest of this looks okay. The rest of this looks okay. I've done these things. Let's come over here. I don't think there's anything here that I'm going to see just by looking at it like this. So we'll have to come back later. But I guess that is okay. We should be able to kind of sort those things out a little bit. Okay. Now let's drop it in out there. We will continue with our planning on this side. Now we do have an electricity problem at the moment, so we'll keep an eye, but those reconstruction activities are underway as well. So we need to bear in mind that we're probably going to run out of steel at some point. Okay, so the idea here is that we do this. What we'll do as a starting point is we'll try and hug the hill here, like so. That's fine. We'll do a little bit of that. So that looks at least a little bit interesting. So that gives us some. Now we will need rail in here to be able to make this work. Now, so let's have a look. So now we should. So what I want to do before we get too heavily involved in that planning, let's quickly come over here and see what is it that we're doing here. We need more coal than we need iron, almost double to be honest. So I guess the 2 should be fine. Okay, and then 200, right? So what is it that we need? Iron processing. So 2 full ones of this, but obviously we've got 2 steel things. So I think 3 of them should be fine. This is 4 tons. 4 tons is the maximum, right? So I guess because we're at 60, let's say 60%. The 60% of this is, 75% would be. The 60% would be like, let's just say 3, right? So let's say it's 3. It's less than 3, actually. Let's say it's 2, right? So let's say it's 2. 2 tons of ore per day per worker. So 2 times 250 gives us 500 tons per day. So let's do 2. So that's 2 of them. So that gives us 1,000 tons of ore per day. And this guy can process a maximum of 225 tons per day. So we'll need like 4 of them to really max out that requirement. But I guess I don't necessarily need as many, but that's fine. Let's see what we can plan. Okay, so what I'll do is let's clear out some of these paths that we have here, because we've kind of got the area now doing its thing. So let's just clear out all of these things so they don't bother us in construction. So we've got our starting point there. So the first thing we need to do is we need to understand that the rail is going to come in over here. And I'm thinking this is a flattish kind of area. So let's have a quick look at these facilities. I'm not paused, right? So that construction is underway. So we're not going to connect them up straight away. We do want to. Now, we could just do them all in here, right? I think that might be the best thing to do. Let's go and have a look at where this is. Kindergarten in this area should certainly be accessible. That's fine. It's in Potomac. That's not going to be an issue. Keep going. Okay, so if we're going in this area, like 4 of them here, we'll get. Let's get the rail, because let's just look at what we'll do with the rail, for instance, and we'll just do that straight away. So let's have a bit of a look here. So if we go, ooh, yeah, that's a bit of a. If we just do this, so I guess that's about right there. We'll leave that one. So let's do a little bit of this so we've got a bit more to maneuver on, okay? So I guess that's the plan there. So let's so that should be pretty natural, and we're going to try and curve it out like this, right? So we'll do that. Okay, so that's the extension. So we'll try and not quite what I had in mind. So let's get rid of that one, and then we'll go back. Let's try this again. Come on, don't snap there. There we go. Let's get it a little tighter around this corner, and then we'll run it pretty straight up here, right? So I guess that's kind of the plan on the one side, something like this. Similarly, we could then run rail into this direction. Again, that might be a little bit tight for rail. So let's trim those two. Let's get these guys connected here. Okay, so that's okay. Is that too tight? Should we? Yeah, I think that's too tight, guys. I think I'm going to play around with this a little bit. So let's clear this one. Come on. All the way to about there. I think what I need to do is I need to make it a little bit more gradual here. So if I do this, if we do that, that just feels a lot more natural there, right? And then the question is, can we do this? I think that's a little bit too much. I wouldn't mind doing that. Let's see if we try and get rid of these two. Can we go ahead? Where can we go out this way? Would love to go out this way straight away, right? I think something like that would be okay. Come on. Really? You don't want to... Doesn't want to do it, huh? Okay, so let's try that. Maybe that's okay. So we'll run it out this direction. We'll get them to tie up over here. Yeah, that's okay. Oh, that's maybe a little bit aggressive. We want to bring it in this way with something that we can load up on. Oh, we actually have... Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay, we will tie into that a little bit better. So let's trim this back to something like that. We'll give it a little bit of a straighten up there before we do that. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to... that's not quite right. So we'll need to do that, right? We zoom it out. I just want to make sure we're... Okay, that's causing us a little bit of heartache there. Okay, so let's maybe start it off on this side. And now what we're doing is we're doing this, right? Actually, what we'll do is we'll bring it in a little tighter like that. And then we're going to... I don't like it. I am going to ignore the fire for a minute. I think we should be okay. Yeah, should be okay. We'll do that. Bring that one back. And then what we'll do is we'll tie this one in. Yeah, that's going to be way better. Now, we'll do not that. Just go back, get that one in place. We'll go it up there. And then we'll go it down this way. And then what we'll also need to do is we'll just need to make sure we've got something like this. Right, so we at least activate that. So what we've got is we've got this one able to go in here, in there. It needs to be able to do in there as well. And on the way out, I guess we'll do this and that. It's not the, I mean, it's not ideal. But at least now we've got some room here. So let's do, so that's kind of the idea on that side. Now, what we need to do here is we need to find a spot where we can actually load and unload. Everything is still going okay. Money-wise is a little bit tight, but things are looking reasonable. Let's pause it for a second and quickly have a look. Have we done our deconstruction? Oh, we have. Okay, so let's continue our demolition here. So both of these guys should be doing their thing. And how about this? This is a slow burn at the moment. Let's quickly get some of these roads out of the way. We'll get that one moving out of the way. I guess we'll leave these two roads at the moment. All of that's pretty nicely cleared up. We'll just assign Lisa to come and do their thing over here as well. So please come and do that. Come and do that. So let's keep clearing out this area. I guess we're in trouble over here, and we're not moving enough. We're not clearing out the ashes enough. So that is a bit of a challenge to what we've got going on at the moment. These are underway. These are underway. This should be finished fairly soon. Let's go back here and continue to have a look here. We're gonna need to have a look at those ashes. It's gonna be a bit of a challenge for us to keep it going. Now, back to rail. We want aggregate loading, train aggregate loading. And I guess something like this, a single. I don't think a single is what we're after. Maybe a double is correct. A double should be fine. Is that loading or that's unloading? That's unloading. Train aggregate loading. This is a double, right? Yeah. So train aggregate loading. We could create a nice long little stretch in like there. And we can load from this side basically. If we flip that around, we get it over this way. Yeah, I like that idea. I like that idea a little bit better. I don't know, but I think, what else do we have in terms of aggregate loading? We've got the big guy, which I guess at these kind of rates, we probably need the big guy. The big guy, or what? Yeah, well, what's this guy? This is okay. I think this is okay. We'll do this one. We'll flip it around though, so that it looks like this. Yeah, beautiful. So I guess that is the plan. We'll try and tie this one in like so. That should be reasonably okay, and we could provide a bit of a maneuvering in this area. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll do that, right? These trains are pretty long, so I guess what I'm actually after is something like this then. Okay. So we'll go around here, get through the bend, then we'll turn it in. And on the way back, do this, right? So at least now what they can do is they can something like this, right? Do that. Okay, so that should give us most of what it is that we need. Then this guy can go out all the way to the final one there. And now what we need to do is we just need to kind of try and naturally get them to work. So what I'll do is I'll get the snapping to go off. Then we get things to work a little bit better if we, in terms of these splits, if we let go of the snapping. Maybe if I quickly do this, I'll just get this to there. Come back in here. I think we should be okay. Well, let's switch the snapping back on now. Get that in there. I guess that's okay. And then that. Yeah, that's okay. I think that is probably about as nice as we're going to have it in this area. And I think it makes sense. On this side, we'll see. We could always tie it back in on the other side if we need to. For the time being, I don't think that's a big deal. Okay, now, so this is the first step. We don't need any workers in this area, but let's make sure we provide at least an aggregate storage facility. Probably the largest we can do, 2,500, 5,000 maybe. So if we were to say do something like this, yeah, that's fine. We don't need a conveyor engine or anything here. So let's do that as a starting point. Did that tie in? That did tie in. So we can now quite comfortably load these guys. Now the question is, do we need more than one? Let's have a quick look if it's an easy possibility for us to provide more than one. Potentially we could provide more than one. We could do it right now. So I think we'll leave this one for the time being. And we'll come back if we do need it. We'll do it. So what's the next step is for us to make sure we've got a little bit of a road connection. I guess up to about there. Okay, and then we'll tie this one in like that. Now the question in my mind is how we tie this one in. I guess for this area, I think we will tie it in. And for this area, what we can do is we can do something like this. We don't need any kind of roads on this side just yet. So what we'll do is we will cut across like so. And we will come up here. And we'll run in there. So that's kind of our primary road connection to the border and to this facility here. We'll have to see if we do anything else in this area, but for now that will work. Okay, so that's the one step there. Let's quickly pause and have a look. Do we need to reconstruct some stuff over here that's already been kind of cleared out? That one, yes, please do continue the construction straight away. It's actually pretty important. So let's get whoever we can onto this straight away. Did we? Yeah, so let's get them onto it. They should be able to build it pretty quickly, and then everything here should be moving again. So we're probably out of steel already. There's a little bit of steel there, so it's not the end of the world just yet. This has been cleared out. Ooh, I like it. Okay, let's do some more deconstruction activities over here. So let's do that, and let's do that, and let's get this assigned, please. That's very slow. Just get lesser out over here, please, and similarly, we'll get lesser out on this side as well. Thank you very much. Okay, so they'll do their deconstruction thing over here. Now, this is still a bit of a challenge to get through all of this, right? We can't export any more mixed waste. This is it's moving so slowly. If we wanted to, it'll cause pollution, so we'll have to wait this one out a little bit more. Once these are cleared out, we can probably start the planning. We won't demolish any of the other stuff. It's pretty useful. So we'll see what we can do in this area. We do need some rail connections to run through here. Obviously, we've got these guys in there. We may need to provide an extra. Yeah, well, that's okay. That'll work. Yeah, so at this point, we need some rail connectivity in here. We don't want to mess up the main line too much more. So we'll have to have a bit of a look at how we do that. How are we progressing over here? This is done. This section is underway. Have we started construction there? I believe we have. One. Oh, yeah. Get them going so that we can get all of this kind of road connectivity in here so we can make use of whatever we have over here. Okay. Now, back to the action. in this area. I'll unpause so things can progress again. Money-wise, it's starting to bounce back a little bit. Okay, now, from here, we need another aggregate storage facility. Maybe the slightly smaller one, maybe even something like this could be okay. We don't need a massive buffer, I think. This will help us a little bit in terms of making sure we... Yeah, so if we were to say do kind of something like this, right? I think something like that should be okay. So if we place that there, now what I'm after is the iron processing facilities. Now we want to fill up the iron processing facilities also. So let's make sure. So if we wanted to do, okay, so we can road it on both sides, right? But we do need to get a rail connection in there. So we don't need to we can't get it too close. So if we were to say do one, flip it around. Two, flip it around. I might not build all of them, but we'll try anyway. We need to 3 and flip it around, and 4. This is going to be the extent of it, to be honest. So if we were to do that, right, this is okay. We need to bear in mind two things. We need waste in here, but we also need our passengers to get in here as well. So let's get the next step going, which will be a passenger platform. Something smallish. I think two platforms is okay. We don't need more than 2 platforms, for instance. How's this? This is too big of a station, I think. I want something a little bit smaller than that. We can do something like this. That's not quite long enough. I want it to be at least a little bit longer. Oh, this is cargo. Hang on. Don't do cargo. This is a very small train platform, and then this one is a little bit longer, and it could work for the train sets, to be honest. That might be sufficient for the train sets. But if we wanted to do something a little bit longer, maybe something like this. Yeah, that a little bit longer than the others, right? Let's place them side by side so we can have a quick look. We need to bear in mind, yeah, that will run into that direction there. Let's do this. I just want to place them side by side to quickly check. Yeah, so they're definitely a little bit longer that way around. I guess we're very likely to keep using train sets. So let's just go with the vanilla one here. Let's go with the vanilla standard train platform because we want to try and get it really close so that we can get everybody to walk to where they want to go. And now that guy is in the way there. But we need to bear in mind that we need to bring in some conveyors in this area as well. So if we were to say, let's do that, right? Okay, that's our plan. Okay, now what we need to do is get a couple of our conveyor engines going. So if we said conveyor engine, we did this, all right? Flip it around. That might work. It's not ideal. I don't like it. I'm not a big fan, but let's do that as a starting point. And then similarly, we'll flip it around on this side as well. Now, do need to bear in mind that this might be quite challenging from a roads perspective. We can do something like this. Let's do that. obviously these are not required, so let's clear those ones out. That's all connected up. Okay, and then on this side, we want these to be full as well. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll probably run two different ones, one to this side and one to that side. That should be fine. So let's do that. We're not paused, right? Oh, we are paused. So let's try this again. So we're going to try and run. That's actually pretty tight. We do that one on this side, and then we'll flip it around to get the road to go to the other side. So we want. We were to do this, right? Could we potentially make this work? Oh, just doesn't want to. Let's try this again. Let's try a little bit more softening of it. If we could get out this way, right? There we go. I think that's probably the easiest way to just do this. And then the question is, I think we do the road connection to the other side. So we'll do that. This will be the easiest way of getting it done. So that gives us all of our coal connections. Now we do want to run a little something to the other side. So where are all my road connections? Okay, so let's get pretty nifty little road connection down here, just to make sure we've got room for it. And now we'll try again here. So the plan is one there, and then from here we'll go 3 in, and let's just flip it around. Do we go, flip it around. Can we go up, please? How am I? There we go. Get it a little bit closer, it seems. So something like that. Okay. Do it over here. And, okay. Over there. Oh, that didn't work. I'll have to come back. I'll have to redo that. Just clear that one out. Stop production somewhere. We'll go back and have a quick look at what our progress was. Clear that one out. We'll have to try that again. We do need these conveyors to work ultimately. Flip it around and increase its height, right? So this is the highest one. I want to make sure we are connected. I think it's not connecting, right? Yeah, it's not doesn't want to connect. I think we're a little close to that road. We need to match what we've got on the other side. It's just annoying if the game is actually telling me it's working and then it doesn't. That's a little bit annoying. So let's go one more time here. Flip it around. Get the height up as high as we can. And the idea would be we do that. Right, maybe this will work. And now the only issue we have here is we probably have some issues with the road connection not wanting to come out. Yeah, so I think we need to bring it a little closer so the road connection could still come out. So let's try that one more time here. Flipping it around. Actually, this should go and work straight away. There we go. That's good. And we'll do a final one somewhere over here. So now all of that is working. We've got our conveyor system running through. And what we'll do is we'll need to just hug it around the corner here. So what we'll do is we'll turn this around. And we'll do... Get it nice and tight there. We should have probably I think 1 would have been good enough, right? 1 is good enough, so we'll do that. We'll get all of that to work. We will get our roads out of here. And we will need, now the question mark really for me is how do we just go around on the back? I think we just go around on the back. So what I'll do is I'll trim this one back just a tad. And what we'll do here is we'll actually go around up here. So, and then we'll come down like this, and we'll go ahead and tie those in there. And what we'll do is we'll do something like this to tie that in. So now we've got a bit of a road network over here. Everybody should be fairly accessible in this area. I know tying them in now, but what I want to do is I want to make sure that we've got tie-ins everywhere. Okay, now the big challenge is that one's okay there. And this one, we'll have to run this road out that direction. It'll need to tie in with a bit of something over here as well. Now, the idea here would be that we need to bring that one in. Okay. So now, obviously, we are going to hug the rail here. So let's run this one down here because the rail needs to get in. Let's trim that one back so we can get a bit of a four-way crossing or something going on here. So we'll do that, right? So that should be okay. That's a little tight, but anyway, what we'll do, and now we just need to double check that we can actually get the rail to work here. Guess we should be able to. Now, we could hug it first. I think maybe that is the right call, is to hug it first. So let's do that, right? So we'll get that section going. Going straight in there might be a little... I think it'll work, actually. You could even have it on the other side there. And from here, we could go into the other directions should we need to. Yeah, I think this is probably appropriate because we may need some extra room to kind of get a train in for waste management as well. So we'll do that. What we won't be able to do is, we can do it over here. We'll do something like this so that we can, yeah. Well, actually, do we get it even closer? Do we do it here? Right. There we go. That gives us a nice tight little setup here. We'll do that. There we go. So that gives us a pretty reasonable spot. It's going into winter now. But I guess that is the setup, right? So what are we missing here? We're missing things like power and water, which is pretty easy to supply. The one thing that's not so easy to supply... actually, the first thing we want to do is let's get our paths going. Can we path through here? That'll be tight. We can path through that side. Okay, so that's what we'll do. So we'll path in on that side. And we could, hopefully we can path it through all the way. We can path it over there. Fine. So, do that. Path it in through there. Get that tied in. Get this one tied in. Get that one tied in. And then this one. We need to do a little bit of this width. Okay, so that's the one side On this side, I guess it's yeah, that's gonna work. We'll tie this one in, we'll tie that one in, no problems. And the only other one we've got a bit of a challenge with is this one. But luckily, it seems a fairly straight line over there. Now, can we have a quick double check of our walking distances? It is beautiful. It is beautiful. So workers from over here will be able to work in the entire complex. Now, the only other thing we've got missing, and I've paused it again. Let's just have a look. Are we back up and running over here before we finish? Is this back up? Yeah, this is back up and running, and this should be working. Okay, good. So that is all good. Have we managed to clear out all of these? We have. And how is this going? This is actually not too bad because the trains are actually moving. Now, this guy will sit here for a while. We'll have to go back and just have a look at how we're progressing on this. These are almost done, I guess. So that's okay. What I can do is I can probably clear this out a little bit now. So this new complex here, if you've got a name suggestion, by the way, please do drop it. So what we can do, actually, just before we start filling in some more stuff, what we could do is we could do something like this at least. So we can run straight on that side as well. So if we wanted to do something like this, yeah, that's good. That, and then time there. Beautiful. So with that in mind, that means we've got a direct connection from this border post to wherever this ultimately ends up going. I don't have plans for using it straight away, but at least now it's there. Now, the issue I have now, though, is for waste collection. Now, let's have a quick look. So if we go the waste collection side of things, right? Oh, our money is back up into good stuff. Look at that, 2.5 million in the previous one. Container dumps are full, so we are struggling a little bit with the waste. So we'll have to go back and have a look at that. So if we have a look at the biggest of the big guys here, right? So this one, fine. That one gets us the pathways, right? This one, okay, so none of these actually have the ability to pick up on some stuff, right? So I guess what we'll have to do is we'll have to get our very own, we'll have to get an extra facility in here, probably somewhere in here. Maybe we redo this a little bit and make use of that road connection to get there. And probably we still need to connect the one side to the other side. So there's, okay, let's quickly do that because I guess once we clear this out. So let's just do this, right? Let's clear that one out. Similarly, let's just go around here. And then I also just want to clear out this. Now, I do need to bear in mind that this will be a bit of a challenge here. Another building on fire. So let's clear that one out. Now, we want a road to go straight up through here. So that is going to work. We'll tie it in over there. Tie this one in like so, to not be in the way too much. And we'll tie that one in like over there. And now we can actually put our little paths back in. I think we can. Because that does give us... That's the one. There we go. That will work nicely. Similarly, we'll tie this one here and we'll tie that one down there. So that should be okay. Everybody's going to get to where they want to go. Now, for these things, we could do... Where can we? We could connect these together and then have another one over here. So we'll have one over here. So let's just get one of our waste collection facilities. I guess we're going to want to do the large one with paths. So what is the maximum? 156, right? 156 is the biggest we can do. So this one's going to be okay. So we'll do something like this. I'm hopeful this will give us access to it, right? Let's try that quickly. So if we were to then say that one there and there, this one, oh really? Ooh. Okay, well. Yeah, that's about right. Now, I don't know is whether that will actually work, but if it does, that should be fine. So give me this. Can I have a quick look at where? So who's going where in terms of? We're not getting. We're not getting an idea of waste management. This guy isn't telling us either. Is the this guy's not going to tell us. I'm thinking this will work, but I'm thinking that's going to be too far away. If I try one more of these, if I said this, right? 100. Oh, 120. 124. I think that side will work. I'm very sure this side will not. Okay, so if I then do similar thing over here. One there. I may have to do multiples, right? I may have to do multiples. And do this. I think that might be quite useful. And then this one definitely doesn't have a option, but I guess what we'll do is we'll squeeze another one in here. I hope there's enough room here. So let's just do that as a final one. Do we have something that'll work in here? It seems okay. Now we do have a little bit of an issue here. It wants to go in like that, and then I guess we can make that work. Well, actually, we don't need any other path, right? We just do that. We get them tied in together over there. This should be all good and fine, right? Let's just tie in these connections over here. Actually, let's trim them back again, and we'll try and add an extra one in there just in case. Right. And from there, there we go. So I guess that gives us multiple options. That gives us at least they are now all kind of tied in together and so on. So that gives us that. Then the only other thing I wanted to do a transfer station in here plus an option, right? So give me a waste transfer station, please, which is these guys. I want the biggest of the big waste transfer stations. Maybe just a single one, though. Let's just double check. What's our size here? 195. I think the standard 195 is probably okay. I don't need anything kind of super much larger than that. So if we were to do one in like that side, and then we do the claw. That should, in essence, give us the ability to get a couple of trains in here, right? We could even push it back a little bit more to give a little bit more room like that. So gives us the floor in that location. Gives us the road connection straight down. Well, let's hug it here. Well, not quite hug, but we'll do that for the road connection. We'll come back with this road connection in a minute. We're almost at the end of this episode. So can we please? The idea is to try and make use of what we've got here. If we did this, yes, so we'll do that, and we'll do that, and then I'll just pop this this road connection out like this and like that. Fine. There we go. So now we've got waste collection over here as well, to be able to, because these guys. So we'll just do. Maybe we could even just assign a couple of trucks in here to try and sort that out. Now the only other thing I wanted to do is let's just swap back into this. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim this out just a little bit, like so, and we're going to go around like this. And I'm going to try and tie it in. Yeah, that's beautiful. I'm going to go around, and then we'll need to get our road connection to come down here, tie it in on this side with a bit of a roundabout. We'll have to see how we deal with the rail connection that runs through here. We could, of course, We'll bring that back in a little bit more like this. We'll need a fire station probably somewhere over here. Got some paths on this side. Let's just see. Can we squeeze in a little bit more in terms of pathing through here? I think we can. So if we wanted to do a fire station or something in here, we could still even do that. We will want to do that, by the way. Even a police station if we needed to. We'll tie this in. We'll get that going roundabout over here so that we can get that connectivity to the other side. And that's basically our setup. So let me go ahead and activate all of these construction items. So we'll keep them in play. We don't necessarily want to start building, but it's not the end of the world if we do. So that should give us everything we need in this area. Let's just go and assign this section for construction as well. Now everything is kind of ready to go for construction. We're only missing our water and power and stuff, which we will look at in the next episode. Let's have a quick look over here. How did we go on this? We're almost ready to clear this out. 20 more tons to go. This is a bit of a challenge, but we'll see what we can do. This is all working. Yes, and our money has bounced back from the recent purchase of a lot of new vehicles, and I haven't seen much in the terms of vehicles not doing their job, and everybody seems to be happy and healthy for the time being. Lots of unemployment, which we will be working on in our not too distant future. Okay, guys, so there we go. We've got a brand new iron ore mining setup with a lot of functionality in here. We can even export. What we can't do, however, is do any shipping kind of stuff. But potentially, I guess there is options for us to run straight across here and do a bit of a shipping port. There is certainly room here. Alternatively, we can just come across over here, do another one for the shipping port, and then plan out a port to actually start using some of our canals. So there is a room to do that as well. But I guess this is the starting point for us. Plus, we've got another border connection. Oh, actually, it's a border connection to the NATO countries, which I'll probably not use, but it's in there anyway. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you've liked it, please hit that like button. Leave your comments down below. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.